Midnight music. Midnight music. Midnight music. Midnight music. Midnight music.
The Yankees they gotta stop playing 500 ball, man.
Yeah, it's.
I mean,
still
they're
May.
winning. They're winning series. They split with Oakland. They've only lost one series in all of April, so it's like they're doing fine, but they're playing 500 ball. Garrett
Yeah.
Cole's not even pitching.
Yeah, he's not even gonna be back by the time he's off of. Like they said, he's gonna be delayed a little longer. I think.
Damn.
Yeah.
And Verdugo just had a kid, so he's out for like 2 weeks.
Didn't he just hit a homer the other day or some shit?
He had two back-to-back days.
And he just had a kid.
He said the birth of his child. So
Hey,
they gave
good for him, man.
paternity time, which is nice. I'm glad that baseball is like, yeah, we play 162 of these motherfuckers. Go take a week off.
Yeah, seriously.
And imagine if I don't know, like your punter was like, hey, can I have paternity leave? And they're like, no. Kick the ball. What do you mean?
Yo, did you watch Raw last night? Probably
No,
not.
I did not yet.
So you heard that they fucking got Mahomes on an episode of Raw?
I saw that because I have Discord open 24/7.
Yeah, he was a guest of Logan Paul.
Yeah, that's a bizarre relationship, but I did
No,
it.
well, Mahomes signed with Prime.
That's right.
Yeah, and they were in
Yeah,
KC.
dude, they're gonna bring so many of them on WWE television.
But I was just surprised. 'Cause I was like, holy crap, you got a reigning Super Bowl MVP on the show. I was like, that's absolutely absurd. And he was wearing his Super Bowl championship rings. I forgot he has 3 of them.
Oh, that's aggressive. That's a lot.
Yeah, the Logan Paul used, they're trying to beat up Jay because Logan Paul signed with some of Judgment Day. So Logan Paul goes to Patty Mahomes to get his Super Bowl rings, and they try to hit Jay, but Jay ducks. So JD McDonough gets hit with 3 big ass Super Bowl rings on the fucking forehead. You have to look up the image of him.
Ow.
You
That
gotta
just sounds painful.
Yeah.
Wait, so what city were they in?
Kansas City.
Oh, they were in KC.
They were in KC, yeah.
That's even better.
But I was just surprised. I was like, really?
So they made? I mean, but Logan's a heel, so it's just bizarre. Like, oh, just in this 1 week only, you're gonna be a babyface.
No, he wasn't a babyface. He was still healing him up.
But they were definitely cheering Mahomes, though.
They were cheering Mahomes, yeah, because they were in KC. It doesn't
Like,
matter.
imagine if it was in San Francisco. That would have been so much better.
Yeah. Putting a hometown hero with the heel was weird, but it was
It's bizarre. But I mean,
it didn't matter. It's Patrick Mahomes, and
you still do it.
Yeah,
I'm
you
not
still
saying
do
don't
it.
do it. Like, obviously you do it. It's just bizarre.
The most intense part about it, because at one point Braun Strowman's back, by the way, surprise, surprise.
Yay!
Yeah, but Braun's still beefy, giant white guy from the Midwest.
He's still lifting weights and eating steaks.
Yep, absolutely, all day,
Good for
every
him.
day.
Good for him.
This motherfucker, so he does whatever he needs to do. He turns and he tries to square up the Pat Mahomes. And Pat Mahomes' offensive linemen stand right next to him. And I was like, this is a fight I want to see. I want to see Braun Strowman versus NFL offensive linemen.
Dude, Braun and Tyson Fury wasn't that bad, if you remember.
It was a good match. It was fine.
Yeah, it was fine. Like, it was nothing. There was statistically nothing wrong with it.
Yeah, Tyson Fury gets the whole entertainment part of shit.
Yeah,
That's why it worked.
Yeah, it's exactly why it works. It's like the only reason why it works.
Yeah. Tyson Fury is great with random appearances. Remember, his greatest thing he ever did is when he punched out Austin Theory. Remember when Austin Theory tried to cash
I will
in?
defend Tyson and Braun Taquan. How dare you?
Remember
How dare you
when-
tell me what I can and can't defend?
Remember Clash of the Castle? Austin Theory tried to cash in, and Tyson Fury
Yeah, I just
clocked
knocked him the fuck out.
I was like, what a shot. It's the best defense ever to stopping somebody from cashing in. What we won't defend, Zaquan, is what was it? The Cain Velasquez match.
I won't defend that one.
Yeah, that was
bad. Hey, Taquan, you're a college kid. Is your campus going crazy too?
from the list I saw. I don't think FAU's on there. Or
Is your campus being threatened of like expulsion?
for doing what colleges have been doing since the Vietnam War.
Although, like, I didn't know. Obviously, like, Clark State,
Clark Atlanta,
Clark University, or Kent State.
Sorry, yeah.
Saying Clark, I get Clark Kent State.
There's a Clark Atlanta, but that's a HBCU. But
Kent State University. Like, I knew students got shot there.
Yeah, that was during I think it was like Korea,
Vietnam.
Or Vietnam. Yeah,
it was Vietnam. But I didn't know they took the dean hostage. The students at Kent State took the fucking dean hostage.
Really?
Yeah, like I learned that the other day. I was like, God damn.
You moved out already? Oh, college is over for you already? That's fucking early, dude.
It's a South? Yeah, that's even early for the South.
Yeah, that's real early.
So I remember my cousins grew up in Florida. They got out of school in April. End of April sounds about right.
Promise is going around right now, I think, in the South. My classes ended early. Lucky you. I did see one video of like a college president came out to like where the students were like, I guess, camping out or whatever. He's like, hey, just want to let you know, I'm not trying to stop you. Just, we can't have tents on campus. It's kind of against the rules. If you get rid of a tent, you're fine. And like walked away.
Fair. I mean, yeah, like, I guess. I mean, at that case, like, all right, guys, just fucking tear down the fence. Tear down the tents then, sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh my god. So I've been reading like crazy lately, and I've opened up.
You finished that Black History book?
I finished that like a month ago.
Ugh.
I'm on my 22nd book of the year.
Damn, dude, it's already April. Like, it's only April. Slow down.
I know somebody who's already read 50. Yeah.
Is it Charles? But it's Charles.
No, Charles does not read like that. Charles is in the middle of Charles is going to be back here in May actually.
Oh yeah.
Him and his girlfriend are coming to do something.
Yeah.
It's like some event that I think his girlfriend's friends are, and he was like, yeah, she got us a place in Brooklyn. I go, why?
Oh, I remember. Yeah, I remember talking about this. It was like a weird. You're like, why would you go in that neighborhood?
It was Red Hook. I was like, why are you going to Red Hook?
Why would you do Red Hook?
And I was like, you allowed this? He was like, I let her do the trip. I was like, all right, okay, it's whatever. I guess I gotta go to Brooklyn to give me back her fucking coat. It's a nice coat too. But no, I actually what is it? Last week I finished reading Great Gatsby again.
I didn't like Great Gatsby.
It's a better book when you're older.
I'm not. I would not be surprised.
It's a better book when it's more relatable when you're older. It's really funny because it's a Long Island book, like it's based on Long Island. So like some person's like, oh yeah, I'm going to Hempstead for something at like the end of the book.
Mm.
I was like, haha,
Made it.
hysterical.
We made it.
Yeah. What I didn't like, I reread Scarlet Letter.
Okay.
What I liked, you know, Scarlet Letter was actually good. It's also one of those things that's better when you're older because you understand it a lot more. Like reading
Yeah.
Scarlet Letter in high school, you're like, you shouldn't be reading about infidelity and shit. Like it's a very extreme book.
I mean, I don't have a problem with infidelity. It's the fact that she was shamed for
That too, yeah.
in public. I had a problem with. But yeah, I see what I get. The themes of that one kind of went over, like, at least especially for boys, right? Like,
Yeah.
I read that junior year. I didn't read it. I was supposed to read it junior. I was assigned to read it junior year.
Spark Notes.
Yeah, right. So like junior year, I'm 16, maybe 17.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have the mental capacity to fully understand. Like I get it, but I don't understand it.
Yeah, no, it's a weird read because it was written in 1800. So I'm like, God, this is so annoying to read.
Yeah, yeah.
Now I'm currently reading.
Now we read Walden next.
No. What did I finish? I read the New Day's Book of Booty that I bought down in New Orleans.
Nice.
That was really funny. And then I read Jordan's like autobiography when he retired in the late 90s. But no, I'm currently reading one of my favorite table books. It's Stuff White People Like.
Oh, that's a good one. That's excellent. That's very funny.
It's very great. So,
What do white people like? I don't know.
the last one I read, this is also done in the early 2000s. Some it's a lot outdated. Like in this book, Netflix is still a delivery service because it was the early 2000s. There was one I really liked that was really. There's a couple that was really fucking funny. Oh, you'll enjoy this because I know you get comedy and stuff. Number 52. White people like Sarah Silverman.
I mean, yeah. Isn't everybody?
Well, listen to this. It says, white people love to laugh. It's no surprise that some of the funniest people in the world are white. But do not believe that white people find all types of humor funny. BET Comic View, for example, is not considered funny, and white people generally get little to no enjoyment out of the program, which is a shame because Comic View was great. The easiest way to find out if comedians are approved by white people is to see if they get mentioned on music blogs or have ever given an interview in which they talked about how much they love the magnetic fields of Montreal over shins. But this does not guarantee white person acceptance. If the topic of comedy comes up, the best thing to do is talk about how much you love Sarah Silverman. White people can't get enough of her. Her whole shtick is saying really offensive things, but it's okay because she's pretty and has a small voice, so it all sounds so cute. Get it? It's not offensive because she says racist or sexist things that she knows are offensive, so it's okay. Much as white women will say that Jon Stewart is their perfect man, it is fully acceptable to and encouraged for white men to say that Sarah Silverman is their perfect woman. Sarah Silverman is also considered an alternative comic, which essentially means she is universally loved by white people, but not enough to be a movie star. Other acceptable.
Facts. That's correct.
Fun fact, I actually met her on Long Island. Other acceptable alternative comedians, David Cross, and the comedians of comedy, Patton Oswalt, Brian Posen, Zach Galifianakis, and Maria...
Brian Posehn. I do love David Cross. David Cross is excellent.
And Maria Bamford. Also, white people will say they love any comedian who shares your ethnicity. For example, if you're Korean, watch how many times white people tell you how much they like Margaret Cho. Warning. Under no circumstances should you ever list Dane Cook as your favorite comedian. The wrong kind of white people like him, and mentioning him will cause white people to lose all respect for you.
What? I'm a big fan of Dane Cook. First of all, Dane Cook was the first comedian I ever liked. I discovered stand-up comedy via Dane Cook.
Dane Cook?
Do you remember? Because he popped off when I was in like 5th grade.
That's true.
Right? So he was the perfect comedian for a 10-year-old.
Yeah. He does have very childish humor. And I remember in early high school, I really did like it because he was hysterical to me.
But he's also a joke thief, allegedly. And he's a
Carlos Mencia for a while.
Yeah, him and Rogan, they hate each other, and it's really funny. Also, Sarah Silverman did blackface, so I wouldn't consider her the perfect woman.
There's a couple of other ones that I was like, this is flat out. I forgot how hysterical.
Taquan says white people also like Kid Cudi, which is also very true.
Kid Cudi's great.
Along with John Legend, white people also love John Legend.
Yeah, you can't hate John Legend.
White people love black celebrities, like just in general. White people just adore black celebrities. It's just
yeah,
lots of love.
Where's another good one?
Dan Cook is not ass. Dan Cook is excellent. How dare you?
Here's another good one. Number 18. White people like awareness. An interesting fact about white people.
Dude. It's terrible. I gotta fix that. They like pretending awareness creates change.
Well, yeah, that's what it is. So I'll read it for you. It says, an interesting fact about white people is that they firmly believe all the world's problems can be solved through awareness.
Yes.
Meaning the process of making other people aware of problems, magically causing someone else, like the government, to fix it.
Yes.
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 This belief allows them to feel that sweet satisfaction without actually having to solve anything or face any difficult challenges, because the only challenge of raising awareness is getting the attention of people who are currently unaware.
It's like, hey, do you want to be neither part of the solution, but you're also not part of the problem? Raise awareness.
Yeah. It gets better. It says,
you were the loudest bitch in the room.
Yeah. It gets even better. What makes this even more appealing for white people is that you can raise awareness through expensive dinners, parties, marathons, t-shirts, fashion shows, concerts, and bracelets. In other words, white people just have to keep doing stuff they like, except that now they can feel better about making a difference. Raising awareness is also awesome because once you raise awareness to an acceptable to arbitrary level, you can just back off and say, bam, did my part, now it's your turn, fix it. So to some
also correct.
So to summarize, you get all the benefits of helping, self-satisfaction, telling other people, but no need for difficult decisions or the ensuing criticism. How do you criticize awareness? Once again, white people find a way to score that sweet double victory. Popular things to be aware of: the environment, diseases like cancer and AIDS, Africa, poverty, anorexia, homophobia, middle school field hockey and lacrosse teams, drug rehab, and political prisoners. The best part about stuff white people like is it's written by a blatantly white guy. It's hysterical.
Yeah, that's excellent. Yeah, dude. Like, raising awareness is also a shield for corruption.
Let's
K's missing. Arrow Stream, wherever you are.
Oh, K is missing. Yay, Arrow Stream is the guy I met at when I was in line to get my autograph with Mercedes.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah, he was awesome.
No, I just got a big plate of food, so.
What are we eating before we get started? That's something.
Kebabs. But it's just like without the stick, it's a bunch of rice and tzatziki. It's Greek.
Nice.
Or beef. Look. It's a big, like a giant cock.
That's a sausage, I think, right?
I have no idea. The packaging just said kebab.
There's a funny one. Apple products.
Do I fucking hate
Apple
Apple?
products play, public radios, Asian fusion food, liberal arts degrees, the Sunday New York Times.
Dude, Apple to me is the mindset of it's more expensive. It has to be better.
Mm-hmm. Oh, fun! Living by the water is hysterical.
That's so true.
Kitchen gadgets, apologies, lawyers, documentaries.
Everyone loves documentaries.
Do you want me to read the explanation of documentaries?
Yeah, sure.
We don't final one before we get started. There's 8. It is a confirmed fact that white people make up the overwhelming majority of both documentary filmmakers and viewers. They just can't get enough. Within white culture, the words documentary filmmaker are code for unemployed. With few deadlines and virtually no budget pressures, documentary filmmakers are able to spend upwards of 8 years working on a film. When a white person lists this as their profession, you should never ask when the film is coming out, as it's considered poor taste to put pressure on them. As viewers, white people like to watch these films because it helps them to get a basic grasp on a complex issue in an hour or two.
Yeah. Ken Burns.
After watching a political documentary, white people often feel as though they have learned enough to begin teaching others about what they saw in the film. Perhaps you noticed the increase in healthcare policy scholars in 2007, or American foreign policy experts in 2004, or gun control pundits in 2002. These are all reference to white hero Michael Moore, the filmmaker who has produced a body
Yes.
of work
Facts.
responsible for reaffirming things that white people already believe in. General white people get very excited about documentaries that will confirm they are right. Sadly, Moore's ability to actually change the way people think has been marginal. Sometimes, white people will watch a documentary to learn about a new subject. These are called foreign documentaries and are an important part of white discourse. In fact, they are second only to celebrity endorsement in terms of creating white passion around the subject. Be aware that an invitation to see a documentary film will often involve watching the film, suffering through a question and answer period, and potentially ending up with the filmmaker sleeping on your couch.
Pretty good. Pretty good. Is anime on the list?
Japan is. I think Japan is on
Yeah,
the
that
list.
counts.
Japan's
Oh,
dogs.
World War II. White people love World War II.
I'm only there's 150. I'm only 60 in, which I started today. 80s Night is on there, not having a TV. Marathons, David Sedaris. Wine, microbreweries, writers' workshops, having two last names, being an expert on your culture. International travel. The Roman Empire is not on here, Jaquan. Hating their parents. Gifted children, yoga, having black friends, one of my favorite ones to read. Tea.
Read it. I have black friends. Read it.
Okay, we'll read this one and then we'll get started. It's probably gonna be a shorter show today. Having black friends. Much has been made about the way white people adore all aspects of black culture and history. These days, the majority of hip hop, jazz, blues, and African American history fans are actually white people. Ask white people about Cornel West, and they might be moved to tears of respect.
I love Cornel West.
Very rare, though. So it comes as no surprise that white people love having black friends. They serve many valuable functions. The most important role that black friends can play in the white culture is that they can be used as physical evidence that white people are not racist. Did you know that if you are able to acquire a friend of every race, then you are officially designated as the least racist person on earth? Though this is impossible, white people treat it the same way that Buddhists view enlightenment, unattainable but with great virtue in the attempt. Black friends.
Amazing.
Black friends can also be used to confirm that a white person is knowledgeable about African American culture. Many white people are constantly striving to be recognized as experts, and many consider it a life achievement to be befriended and acknowledged by a black person. But note, do not dole out your praise like a piñata candy. Once white people have achieved this goal, they will be more difficult to manipulate. So it is best to tease them with little bits of praise, balanced with a few bars. For instance, I have to hand it to you for putting KRS-One on that party mix. I mean, you went with a pretty well-known song, but still, good job. Also,
all right, first of all, I also love KRS-One. And I only love him because of the song Hush from Tony Hawk Pro Skater 3.
It happens. Okay. Also note that all white people fantasize about being brought to an authentic African American experience, such as a Baptist church or a barbecue restaurant in a neighborhood that they are afraid of. Finally, an abundance of black friends defined in white culture as two also enables a white person to be the resident expert on African American issues when there are no black people around. Moving beyond friendship, some white people actively seek out opportunities to begin romantic relationships with black people. Dating, marrying, and subsequently having a child with a black person is considered one of the greatest things a white person can do. It delivers a lifetime of opportunities to get offended and feel superior to friends with white children, but still rank slightly behind adopted foreign children.
I'm gonna push back on that one because there's a big part of the country that would not like you marrying a person of color.
Yeah, it's called the Midwest.
And they are also white.
They are also in the Midwest.
The adopting a child one is a good one.
I haven't gotten there yet.
That's a very white thing to do. I had a friend growing up. They adopted a girl from Korea.
Mm. I love that word. He says you're in the survey group for his book.
You call me a male monkey?
That's a good one, actually. I like that one.
I mean, did you? I hope Twitch blurted out honky here. That's fucking hilarious.
It might have.
Honestly, they probably might have. It's just like, dude, come on, you blurted out the least offensive word in the history of words.
Well, no, cracker is to me. Cracker's not offensive enough.
Honky is just like, okay. Like,
Honky's just funny to me. It's not even offensive. Like I just say it because it's funny.
I feel like the only person offended by the word honky is the honky tonk man.
And he would be the only one who would legitimately be a honky because he's honky tonk man.
I do the honky tonk. Like, oh, your slur is just a genre of music? Uh-oh.
Watch out.
All right, I have been fed. I am ready to podcast.
I am ready when you are.
God, that was fucking delicious. I just chowed that down. All
I
right,
know.
I'm
Hope you
rolling.
got water.
I should get water, but I don't.
Mhm.
All right, starting in 5, 4, 3, 2.
Midnight music.
Coming up this week on Kings of the Rings podcast, guess what, folks? We have afternoon wrestling this weekend. So we're going to do wrestling, brunch, and a little bit of crepes as we look to WWE Backlash. Also, we have to break down all the very obvious picks that were made during the WWE draft. And Jesus Christ, what the fuck did Tony Khan say during the NFL draft?
Oh boy!
Yeah,
I
yeah,
remember that.
yeah.
I'm so excited.
We're
so excited. Let's fucking go.
Yeah, we're gonna go. It is Viva La Resistance with a little bit of a French flair this week. Episode number 3, I think it was a 374 of King's Rings podcast, exclusively here on Wrestle Addict Radio, and it starts right now. I still it's been days.
I wish I had a neck brace
And
right now.
You'd do a better job than he was. He was still turning his neck all the time.
Yeah, I'm glad you made that point because I was hoping I wouldn't have to. Yeah, he's like,
yeah,
see his neck brace,
head on a
guys?
swivel. Horrible, horrible. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome.
Vince was in court. And
Seriously, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Kings of the Rings podcast, episode number 374. Viva La Resistance. I'm your host, King Ricky Rose. Thank you guys for joining us live right now on YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch. If you guys like what you are seeing, or if you're listening to this a little bit later on in the week, please like, share, subscribe, leave us a 5-star review. The links to all of that are in the description below. We've got a pretty straightforward show. We're talking about WWE Backlash coming from France, the first French premium live event. We got to look at the WWE draft, and yeah, Tony Khan said that. But before we get into all of that, let me pass it over to a guy who clearly does not believe in Joe Hendry. Will Tarashak, how are you, sir?
Yeah, dude, I don't know who this Joe Hendry fella is. For all
You
I
should
know,
say
he
his
could be-
name because
could
he
be
might
fake.
appear.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
I will tell you this right now. His song dropped yesterday. It was number 1 in the UK charts. It's
Amazing.
number 4 in the American charts. Marks are amazing.
Always count on the Brits.
Yeah. But how are you, Will? How you doing?
I'm good, man. It's gonna be a good week. It's gonna be a good episode. Making fun of Tony Khan, and yeah, I'm excited for the show on. What time did it start? Eastern time, 2 o'clock.
1 p.m. 1.
1 p.m.
Yeah.
I'm probably gonna have to watch it on Sunday because it's my cousin's bridal shower
Ooh,
this weekend.
I'm sorry to hear that.
I gotta drop off. I gotta drop off Jazz, and then I'm thinking I'm not going to the shower. I'm not invited.
Oh, you're not?
So no.
Oh.
So I just gotta drop her off, pack her with my grandmother, and then just pick her up afterwards.
Yo, go to Chip City then.
Oh, dude, I should have fucking told you. We went the other day.
How was it?
Oh, it's incredible. Yeah, I got the classic chocolate chip, the cookies and cream,
You got to
and
do
the
chocolate
confetti.
chip. You got to do chocolate
Yeah,
chip.
dude, they're thick. It's like
They're
a Mondo
huge.
burger.
Yeah, they're massive.
Yeah, it's really. I was like, hell yeah! No, it's really good. Because like I walked by that place all the time, but I was like, oh, it's just a cookie spot. And I was like, oh, it's Insomnia Cookies around the corner. And then you told me about this place, and I go, dude, this is way better than Insomnia
It's
Cookies.
so much better.
And it was 3 massive cookies for like $13,
Yeah.
which was, I mean, they fill you up. 2
Yeah.
cookies fills you up. Like, you know,
Yeah.
I didn't have to eat until like the next day.
Yeah, no,
But
I
a little
got
pricey but delicious.
I think I got 6 because me and my friend went, and so it lasted me like a week. Cause you can't,
Yeah.
it takes a while. You gotta space them out.
Oh, and they're so soft.
Oh, especially when they're warm. Yeah. Oh,
Oh,
they're very good when they're reheated too.
dude, I don't know. There's certain things I like to reheat, certain things I don't like to reheat.
Yeah.
I don't reheat pizza. I don't reheat cookies.
You can do. I mean, cold pizza's awesome for starters.
No, cold pizza's better. It is better.
No, there's
Like
a way.
sometimes I'll order a pizza and wings and just save the pizza for the next day and just eat the
Yeah.
wings.
There's a trick I learned about reheating pizza. You can do it on in a frying pan. You put it
Interesting.
you put it in, and then once it heats up enough, you put like some water. You drop some water on the sides, and so when the pan's hot, so it steams up a little bit. Close the lid, have it sit for like a minute or two. You got a perfectly. It's like brand new.
Ooh.
Yeah, I have to send you a video on it, but I did it.
Yeah,
I did it.
like
It works.
Frankenstein shit to pizza.
It works. It works perfectly.
I'm about it.
Yeah, no, it's great. So let's get into this. Let's get into this week. Like I said, straightforward week. Some interesting stuff happened in the world of wrestling. None of those things included the WWE draft, which totally screwed everybody up. We all thought, judging by the logo and like the background logo, that NXT was going to be prominently featured in this, that people were going to be drafted from Raw and SmackDown to NXT, and that was not the case at all whatsoever. NXT was used as, again, a supplement to draft several people to Raw and SmackDown. Nobody went to NXT, and that was kind of disappointing, more so because all of my picks for our draft show last week are null and void, which makes all of our predictions null and void, which I had to wipe out all of our stuff, so none of that goes to the prediction battle, and it's kind of shitty.
Yeah, there goes my good idea for like KOTR fantasy wrestling. It's
Yeah.
like, oh, let's have a point for where they're gonna end up.
Nope. Out of the picture. It was an absolute shame. But let's go through. I'm gonna go through. We're gonna start with the Raw roster of people because I have it pulled up. Thank God for Bleacher Report. So Raw roster includes obviously Damian Priest, your World Heavyweight Champion, Becky Lynch, the Women's Champion, Awesome Truth, World Tag Team Champions, who I think they did an update on the World Tag Team title belts. They look a lot better. A lot more red in there. Sami Zayn, the IC Champion. Imperium was selected, including Gunther and Ludwig Kaiser. Giovanni Vinci, no longer a member of Imperium, by the way. So that was an interesting little move. All of Damage Control got taken to Raw, which includes Io, Dakota.
Yeah, get her away from Bailey.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
CM Punk drafted to Raw over before Drew McIntyre, which is great. Braun Strowman making his return to Raw and being drafted to Raw. The entire LWO, which included Rey Mysterio, Dragon Lee, Cruz del Toro, Joaquin Wilde, Zelina Vega, and for right now, Carlito, back on Raw. Drew McIntyre, also drafted to Raw. Judgment Day, all of Judgment Day. Finn, Dom, JD, all back on Raw. One of the best pickups, I think, in all of the drafts. And one of our favorite people, who's a well-dressed person, Ilya Dragunov, officially
He went to Raw?
drafted to Raw.
Cool.
Yeah, after he dropped to Trick Williams, so whoop that Trick won the title last week on
I
NXT.
did see that.
It's a great
Yeah,
match,
good for him.
really fun match.
Good for him.
Yeah, I wish it would have happened on NXT in his hometown, but I guess they wanted to drag it out for a draft. I get it, but it happens. The New Day to Raw. Lyra Valkyria, former NXT Women's Champion who dropped to Roxanne when we were in Philadelphia, drafted to Raw as well, which is good because Becky's the champ there, and Becky will mentor her and take her through kind of how things go. Final Testament, Karrion Kross, Authors of Pain, and Dave as a 60-year-old man, Paul Ellering, also drafted to Raw. Scarlett is included with that as well. My favorite thick boy Bronson Reed to Raw. Jey Uso staying on Raw. Seth Rollins staying on Raw. Braun Breaker had like a 2-month contract with SmackDown and is drafted to Raw. So,
Yep.
Liv Morgan. We're gonna talk about Liv Morgan. Liv Morgan drafted the Raw. You didn't watch Raw, okay? But I'm going to.
I saw she pinned Nia Jax, which is interesting.
Fine, whatever. That's not the issue. So they did a backstage segment with Kathy Kelly and Jey Uso. Okay. And you know how WWE likes to get creative with people in the background, right?
Yeah.
So it's been widely spotted. Jey Uso is doing a segment with Kathy Kelly in the hallways. And in the background, while we're doing this interview, you see Liv Morgan walk out of a room and walk down. Less than 10 seconds later, Dominic walks out of the same room.
Mm.
I'm getting on board with the Liv Morgan revenge tour thing. Like it's not just winning the title, it's destroying Rhea from the inside out.
And she's gonna join Judgment Day.
She might, but if she takes Dom in storyline, that's beautiful.
Oh, she's fucking Dom.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
You know, Dom just got married, but nice.
The funny thing, I love now that Ray's back on Raw with his son, he keeps messing with him. So you know how Dom has grown out his mustache?
Mm-hmm. Oh, it looks terrible.
Rey Mysterio goes, "What's that on your face? Is that a dirty Sanchez?"
Oh, got him.
And Dom goes, "You're lucky I'm not cleared," and walks away. Fuck. All right, moving on to that. I'm getting on board with this Liv Morgan thing. This is why it's a good thing that she lost that title.
I
like it.
We'll see.
Yeah,
We'll see.
It's not.
I love how she's the ultimate runner-up.
Yeah. Listen, it's not always about the title with this revenge tour thing. She has to take everything.
Yeah.
So I think that's where we go. Ricochet, no surprise. He's going to stay with Samantha Irvin. Ricochet, also the first ever Speed champion. You know that show that nobody watches on social media because it's only 3 minutes long.
Cool.
They got a belt too. Actually, it's not half bad. It's just there. Burgers after burgers. Sheamus, also on Raw. Alpha Academy staying on Raw. Chad, Otis, Akira, Maxine. Kiana James from NXT called up to the Raw roster. Alba Fire and Isla Dawn were supplemental picks. There are a lot of picks that were done after .com picks, essentially. I like that. Dijak is there as well. We also got Ivar, Shayna Baszler, Zoe Stark, the Creed brothers, and Ivy Nile staying on Raw. New Catch Republic moving from SmackDown to Raw. That's Pete Dunne, as Pretty Deadly calls them, and Tyler Bate. Dijak picked Kaden and Katana Chance are also staying on Raw. Natalia on Raw, and somehow Odyssey Jones got picked yet again.
Mm-hmm.
He's never wrestled on Raw. He barely wrestled on NXT. But he's there. He's there. So with that being said, Will, the Raw roster, how do you like that it looks?
It's a great roster. You know, they didn't make too many crazy moves. Braun Breaker's smart. I like Sheamus. LWO switching over is fine. Like a lot of these storylines on SmackDown kind of just finished.
Yeah.
So send them all over. Bloodline is still split up. I think that's smart. Did Jimmy get drafted anywhere? Because I think he's hurt.
I believe he's. When I go through SmackDown, I believe he is there.
So keep an eye out. He might be on SmackDown. I thought he was undrafted. Like I like that Roman Reigns pulled out because
smart move. Brock never was drafted.
Smart. Yeah. I thought the draft overall was a dud.
It was.
On TV, like it's very whelming.
Yeah.
Like I like that they had the field like I was like, is that JBL and Teddy Long?
Yeah.
The SmackDown side. I was like, it was bizarre.
It was cool.
Like,
they went with the NFL draft style of like just bringing in random people to do picks, which is great, but like it amounted to nothing.
Yeah.
You know?
I don't know. It felt like, I don't know. The draft just felt like the exact same as it's been for the past few years.
Yeah, I was expecting something a little bit crazier to happen, but it didn't really happen.
And I have no doubt by the time SummerSlam rolls around, it's going to be gone. They're going to be cross promotion because you got to do cross promotion is such a big part of this company.
Especially with when you have your major, your 10-pole pay-per-views, you have to cross promote.
Yeah, like you mean to tell me Cody's never going to be on Raw ever?
Exactly.
Ever? Please. So
I feel like this would have been better as a couple of things.
yeah, Taquan makes a good point though. Stop drafting
people-
people who are already on the shows.
Yeah,
That to me was like, because it is kind of this like,
it felt like a shakeup, not a draft.
yeah. Yeah.
It-
When the idea draft is like, okay, everyone's placed nowhere.
Yeah,
But it's weird that you pick someone to stay on your show.
yeah. I mean, like,
I don't know.
Yeah, it's.
I don't know how else you would do it though.
You know, it felt like a shakeup, but I also feel like the draft is so like. I've always thought this. I feel like the draft should be a network special.
No, I don't mind it's on TV. It doesn't bother me it's on TV. I see what you mean.
Yeah, I like the network special feel because I feel like it sometimes may
try
take
to pop
away.
a rating though. Try to pop a rating.
I get it. No, I definitely get it. But I feel there's something needs to change the draft. Maybe some more pop and circumstance. I don't know. Something they did try a little bit more of the war room feel and bringing in, past people, but something for the draft just isn't hitting. Moving on.
I like there was SmackDown and Raw, not USA and Fox.
I remember when they did that one of the years. Yeah. Didn't the Fox wasn't the Fox bot in one of the rooms?
Yeah, the Fox bot was there. It's like, oh, there is Seth Rollins getting drafted to USA. What do you mean?
No, it's great. Right. So let's go through the SmackDown.
Yeah, Raw has a good roster. A lot of things, a lot of moving parts to play with. It's gonna be fine.
Yeah,
it's much of the same.
Let's go to the SmackDown roster. Something Cody Rhodes, your undisputed WWE champion. Bayley, SmackDown champion. A-Town Down Under, Theory and Waller, your tag champs. Logan Paul, your United States champion. Jade Cargill picked. Kevin Owens. SmackDown gets Bobby, B-Fab, Street Profits, which is Montez Ford and Angelo Dawkins. I don't want to call them the Pride, but that's their freaking name as a group. I hate it.
You like the bum and the fist?
No, like that's fine. I just don't like the name.
Yeah, the name's dumb.
The name's horrible. I think that's the name they wanted to give a New Day, actually, to be honest with you.
The Pride.
Yeah. I believe that is a rehashed old New Day name that they tried to put on them. Tiffany Stratton, because of course, Legado del Fantasma, Santos,
it's Tiffany
Angel,
time.
Humberto. I love Tiffany. You can't say she can do no wrong in my eyes.
Yeah, she's great. She's great. Nothing wrong with her.
Shinsuke, Naomi, Chelsea Green, and Piper Niven, which is a shame we won't hear Samantha Urban say Chelsea Green anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah. Pretty deadly remaining. Candice and Indy Hartwell moving to SmackDown, and DIY, Tommaso Ciampa and Johnny Gargano also moving to SmackDown. We could get a reunion of the Way now. You have Theory, Indy, Gargano, and Candice
all on one
brand. You could get a Way reunion.
I enjoyed the Way. Johnny was just such a funny heel.
The no-look high five.
No look high five. In Theory was such a good dingus.
Yeah, it's so good. Blair Davenport getting moved up from NXT to SmackDown. The number one overall pick of the draft, and as Michael Cole said on Raw, the first African-American woman to be the number one overall pick, Bianca Belair, was the number one pick out of anybody in the entire draft. But probably the best pick in the entire draft going to SmackDown, the third overall pick in the draft.
This is wild.
Carmelo Hayes.
Yeah.
Let's break this down. What a debut performance for Carmelo Hayes, even though he actually has wrestled on SmackDown before. However, as an official member of the roster, he came out and challenged Cody Rhodes from the start. And they put on a hell of a match.
Yeah, there was a good match, but one thing I noticed is that Carmelo is small.
He is he's like 5'8", I think.
Like next to Cody.
Yeah, Cody towers him a little bit.
Cody's twice his size. Like Carmelo,
like height-wise, not in weight.
No, I'm saying like width, like not just in mass.
I think Carmelo's bigger than him. Like like muscle mass, like height.
Muscle,
I know.
like like I guess it was maybe like body fat, maybe, but
maybe
Carmelo needs to bulk up. Like put
I
on
don't
some weight
think so. I think Carmelo's fine.
Yeah, he's a little short. That's fine, but
yeah,
I don't know. He did not. He's a great talent, great character, great promo, but it's like when Taz came over from ECW. It's just like
he's not a Taz body type.
No, he's not. He's not Taz small, but he just body wise, Cody was just like, oh, this is what a main event guy looks like, and Melo needs to. I think he needs to bulk up. Just put on this
I
massive muscle.
I kind of disagree with that. I think Melo already looks like a main event. I think he looks fine. Like he looks good to me. I mean, and him and Cody went in the ring and looked great together. What people I think forget or didn't really realize if we hadn't watched any of the like behind the scenes stuff, when Cody was recovering from his torn pectoral, remember that disaster? What you did a 5-star Hell in the
Was it Melo? He was training with.
He was
Melo?
training with Melo.
Yeah, I remember.
So they put on a hell of a match, and like I'm very excited for Carmelo on SmackDown. I think it's a genius pick. He fits in. You can put him anywhere in that like on that show, and he'll be perfectly fine. Moving on, Randy Orton back on SmackDown. Nia Jax moving from Raw to SmackDown. LA Knight, yeah. The Bloodline was drafted, so Jimmy is not drafted at all. Jimmy has not been drafted.
Okay.
All right, so you have Solo, Tama Tonga, and Paul Heyman, AJ Styles, Andrade getting separated from the LWO and remaining on SmackDown, which means...
And that was just for a WrestleMania moment.
Yeah.
Which means Charlotte's on SmackDown.
Which means Charlotte's coming to SmackDown. Cedric Alexander and Ashante the Adonis, where's the .com pick? Baron Corbin returns from NXT.
Yay. Good for him.
He did a good job when he was on NXT. He was a good wrestler. Well, I mean, we saw that one match at not Takeover, at Stand and Deliver. He did a good job.
Stand and Deliver.
Yeah.
Like we forgot to mention how awesome Baron Corbin was a few weeks ago.
He did a good job. Yeah, he did a good job.
Yeah, I was cheering for Baron Corbin.
Yeah.
He did a top rope move. Like the guy was very, very good.
He did a good. The OC, Luke Gallows, Carl Anderson, and Mia Yim also on SmackDown. Giovanni Vinci now on his own. On SmackDown, Tegan Knox, cute as a button. Tegan Knox on SmackDown, and last but certainly least, Apollo Crews is also on SmackDown. I'm not gonna lie, it's probably,
Mr. Irrelevant.
I don't know if it's Mr. I forgot who was last, but Apollo Crews sounds like I would put Odyssey Jones as Mr. Irrelevant actually. Exactly. That silence is deafening. Odyssey Jones is Mr. Irrelevant. Yeah.
I was trying to think of that one person one year who was one undrafted. Was it Curtis Axel?
It was Heath.
Heath Slater.
Heath.
It was Heath Slater, undrafted.
That was a great storyline. Like he was the last person in the room, and he had to.
It was so stupid.
That's what he did. I got kids. I need this job.
Yes.
And then him and Rhino ended up winning the tag team championships.
He's got kids.
He's got kids.
He's got kids.
I will say, out of the two rosters, I think SmackDown has the better roster.
I think it's pretty balanced, honestly. Like there is main event, mid card, and tag people. There's enough matchups for both sides. Like you said, Melo can be put anywhere. I think on the flip side, Braun Breaker can be put pretty much anywhere.
Yeah.
Like Braun Breaker and Sami Zayn.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'll watch that. Yeah, that sounds good.
Yeah, no, good.
Like I know Melo is Melo a face or a heel? Do you think?
I think they're still pushing him as a heel right now.
Okay.
Like he's still Odyssey Jones is a 5-time world champion. Stop it, squad. No, they're still pushing him because Trick's still hot. It's like when he came out, they started chanting "Whoop that Trick."
Yeah.
And Carmelo's like, I beat him already.
No, you didn't though.
Well, he beat him earlier, but yeah. But no, I think they're still pushing him as a heel right now, which I think he's great as a heel.
Yeah.
He has a natural heel swagger to him. But he's gonna be such a cool heel. He's gonna turn face eventually.
I mean, the bloodline stuff is still going to be interesting. You could probably see Solo going after Cody pretty soon.
Mm-hmm. You mean Solo Suge Knight?
Solo Suge Knight, yeah. Yeah, it's great. Everything about it's really good. I can't wait for Roman to come back and they go, "You lost too," and they turn on him.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting, especially whenever Jimmy comes back and all of that stuff. So that is the WWE draft. It's a thing. The draft rosters finalize on Monday after Backlash, and it'll probably last for about 2 months before something wacky happens or somebody returns and signs and so. I don't know. It's enjoy it while you can. Put it that way. Moving on to another thing and another draft that happened this week, and a kind of a bigger draft that may have happened this week. Was the NFL draft, and don't be fooled, folks. What you're seeing if you're watching us live on this screen is the NFL Network. It's a screenshot of what was going on on the NFL Network. Two analysts for the NFL Network are interviewing the guy with a neck brace, who you might also know as the money man, the general manager, head of creative, all those titles that Tony likes to put in his press releases, Tony Khan, who is also the Jacksonville Jaguars, because his family owns the Jacksonville Jaguars, Chief Football Strategy Officer.
That is a made-up title if I have ever heard one.
You are goddamn right. It's made up.
It's just
so
like, yeah,
made
dude, this is this legal laundering of family cash.
Pretty much. So, as everybody knows, or most people know, if you watch AEW, Tony Khan.
Like, who is the Patriots' chief football strategy officer?
Nobody. It doesn't exist. It doesn't exist. You know what a chief football strategy officer is? It's a general fucking manager. Okay?
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Or like an analyst or a head coach.
Or the president of the organization. Jesus. Anywho, Tony Khan took a couple of bumps from his reformed version of the Elite, which includes Okada, Jack Perry, and the Young Bucks, because why the hell not? As part of that, he also
I kind of dig that. I do like that.
Jack Perry returned to AEW at
the
Dynasty.
picture of him smiling was really funny.
Yeah, when he's looking at the camera.
Yeah, they did the Brett Nolan.
Yeah, it's good camera work. It's good camera work. And in this thing, I believe Tony Khan took a pile driver, hence why he's wearing
the Meltzer driver.
Yeah, he took a Meltzer
which
driver.
Which is another TK driver.
Yeah, whatever. No one cares.
I don't know. I like it. I like all of this so far.
Yeah. So he takes the pile driver. He's wearing a neck brace. Kayfabe alive and well. I love everything about this. Okay. He's going on the NFL Network. He's trying to push this storyline on the NFL Network. It's been done years. It's been done for decades. Andy Kaufman, Jerry Lawler broke this years ago, and it was fantastic TV. All of this makes fantastic TV. Now, mind you, Tony Khan, as the Jaguars' chief football strategy officer, is on the NFL Network to talk about the Jacksonville Jaguars during the NFL draft. Okay. He's on the NFL Network talking about the Jacksonville Jaguars and the NFL draft. So the analyst, also being very perceptive and also visually have a cue that he has a neck brace on. So they ask him about the neck brace and a little bit about AEW. So Tony, in what's not really pressured speech, or
yeah, he kind of just said it.
Yeah, it's not pressured speech where I feel like there might be like a mental or a drug issue going on, but it was there, you know. He goes on a verbal diatribe talking about AEW and his product. Okay, cool, no problem. Tony Khan then tries to, like he always does, compare himself to WWE.
And that's where he lost me. Immediately, that's where he lost me.
And Tony Khan said this, I kid you not, there are audio clips everywhere. He says AEW is like Pepsi. Like AEW TV, AEW wrestling is like the Pepsi company. WWE is like Harvey Weinstein. And you watched two professional analysts from the NFL Network become amazingly uncomfortable in real time.
Like, what are you talking about? What if he was just like, I think you mean Coke?
Seriously, like it was right there, Tony. It was like, right there.
I understand what he's trying to do, calling Vince McMahon like Harvey Weinstein. That I understand, but Harvey Weinstein and soft drinks have nothing to do with each other. That's the problem. That is the crime. The crime is not the moral equivalence. The crime is the equivalence. Like Pepsi and movie producers are nowhere near.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, how do you go from soda to sexual assault?
Seriously.
It's a great question. First of all, if you're going to make the Pepsi and Coke comparison, you're Coke.
Yeah.
Coke is in every way, shape, and form the better company and the better product.
Better company, maybe I don't know about better product, but continue.
Well, when it comes to Coke and Pepsi specifically.
Yeah. No, that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
You like Pepsi better than Coke?
I do, actually.
That's fair to say, but would you agree that most people like Coke over Pepsi?
Yeah, Coke's the more popular brand.
There you go. So that's my point.
Yeah.
Like I probably like Pepsi products better than most Coke products,
Mm-hmm.
but Coke is just superior to Pepsi.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyway,
Yeah.
if you're gonna make that comparison, you say you're Coke. You don't call yourself the assumed number 2 by most people.
There's that. How do you go from soda to sexual assault? How are you? The other thing is as that as well is, which I think I was talking to Charles when he brought this up. He goes, when does Pepsi talk about Coke and when does Coke talk about Pepsi?
Never.
Never.
Always.
Yeah.
Never and always.
Why? Like what? There's no reason to bring it up. The hard
dude, there's a reason you don't see Tesla advertisements.
Seriously, it's like the same.
You don't
thing.
need to.
Yeah, it's like you ever seen like a Bentley advertisement? No,
but everyone knows what it is. It's a fucking weird looking car.
Yeah. There was no reason to bring up WWE because now you just make now you make people curious about WWE. Also, like you're like say what you want about like Vince and stuff and the Harvey Weinstein. Like in a light, it's an applicable comparison, especially with the ongoing federal lawsuit that's going on and everything. And hey, Nightbird, whoever you are, and also in that aspect, you also have Harvey Weinstein coming up again because a procedural issue was found in the Court of Appeals in New York, which kind of temporarily reversed his decision in New York.
He's also still in jail in California.
Exactly.
So he's still in federal prison.
He's still
he's not getting out anytime soon.
No, not at all.
He could be released in a few years.
Yeah, but it's a procedural issue
which is crazy in and of itself.
Very much so. But you
women
have
judges too. So 4 women judges overturned it too, which is wild.
It was Court of Appeals, right?
I don't know.
I believe it was Court of Appeals because it's more. It's not indicative on the evidence. It's procedural. Like they did something.
It's procedural.
Yeah.
It's procedural.
It's
but it's still
BS,
interesting that like a group of 4 female judges was like, no, it's just fine.
Rules are rules. You get like
I get it.
There's nothing you can do. Your hands are tied.
It's just wild. It's just fucking wild.
Yeah, it's also wild. I mean, you make the comparison to Vince and Harvey Weinstein and stuff like that.
I think that's a fair comparson.
It is a fair comparison, but
Vince is a dirtbag, but he also, you should have paid that woman.
Yeah, there's that, and then there's also you're bringing up issues about an industry that has a history outside of Vince McMahon of sexual assault and not being the greatest workforce for women to be in, and it's just now getting better. Like, and also you hired Ric Flair, Tony. Like, you hired Ric Flair. It's. Like I heard, like Tony Khan has said some wild stuff before, but I
want to see how Tony Khan treats women.
Yeah, but then I heard this, and I'm just like, oh my god! Like nothing he said made me want to watch the Jacksonville Jaguars. Number one, which is the reason he was on the NFL Network for, by the way, and nothing about what he said made me at all intrigued about trying to move over to AEW. I'm like, you are by Forbes magazine standards number 3 fighting company in the world, estimated $2 to $3 billion company. We talked about this last week.
Yeah. Which is a great accomplishment.
It's great. It is. Especially for being 5 years old or something like that, 5, 6 years old.
It's an incredible accomplishment.
It's incredible. But you can't just save, like, where's the media training? Your family owns the Jaguars, your family owns a professional soccer team in Europe. Has no one taught you how to speak to the media? In any way, shape, or form.
If it was in context, it would be weird, but it wouldn't be as weird.
Yeah.
Right? You know what I mean? Like if they asked what it's like to be the owner and CEO of a wrestling company, right? Then you can kind of make that kind of comparison. I run my company like this, unlike my competition, who is more akin to Harvey Weinstein.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that. It's still bizarre, but it's like it's an actual jab and a dig that makes sense in context.
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah, you're a weird dude for saying that, and it's to make the guys uncomfortable. But at least they can kind of pivot to something else. Whereas this one was completely lost and bamboozled, and you look ridiculous in the neck brace. But to be honest, I respect the neck brace as a wrestling fan.
Yeah.
But to a non-wrestling fan, you look absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah, but I love the kayfabe thing. Like that's cool as shit to me that you can still do that and do it on NFL Network. But it was just
it's a good cross promotion.
It was a great cross promotion, and if we would have kept it at that,
ask you to bring up AEW ever again.
never again.
Like it's about keeping the relationship, right? Like because typically, I'm assuming his dad would do these things probably back a few years ago.
Yeah, Shad
right?
Khan.
Like pre AEW, was Tony Khan doing this? No, his dad probably was.
Yeah.
So I have no problem with Tony Khan getting a fake title on a football team he doesn't care about, so he can get more press and publicity to his wrestling company, which he actually does care about.
Yeah.
That's just good business.
Yeah.
Right. Like don't hate a man for trying to be a good businessman, but then. But also on the flip side, be a good businessman.
that's the issue. Like, Jesus Christ. Which I think it's ironically, now that I think about it, I think that's the reason that the WWE got Patrick Mahomes on Raw.
Yeah. Taquan, who's Roman Polanski of podcasting? Definitely What Culture Wrestling.
Before or after Adam Blompied?
All of it. All the above.
Oh my God. Sydney is a free agent. Who's Sydney? Hi, Smiley, by the way.
What up, Smiley?
Yeah, I need to know who the hell Sydney is.
Yeah, who is Sydney?
I don't know. Yeah, Smiley.
Maybe it's Smiley's real name.
No, that's not Smiley's real name. I know that for a fact.
I know, but still.
But yeah, no, I was just in my like. Oh, Scripps. Oh, Reggie. Reggie's a free agent. Oh, they released Reggie. Oh, okay, whatever. See you, Reg.
Yeah, you can go back. You can go back to
Cirque du Soleil.
What an interesting autocorrect. He can go back to Cirque du Soleil and be uber successful.
Listen, Sommelier Reggie was the best version of that character.
Yeah, him and Carmella.
Yeah, Sommelier was great. Listen,
is this the shame that Carmella always has a good gimmick and a good run, but is overshadowed by
the man.
Number two.
By the man.
For number two, not even a man, just the one who is clearly supposed to be the number two.
You know what's the biggest shame with Carmella, even though we're not talking about Tony right now, but you know what the biggest shame with Carmella is? She got, well, not a shame because she did have a child. She got pregnant. She got injured, I think, then also pregnant when her and Chelsea Green were about to be like a tag team. Can you imagine the craziness of that tag team?
Yeah, it would have gotten over. I mean, they could still do it, right? She had her kid. She's definitely ready to come back if it's probably.
I think she's just taking her time. Yeah.
Taking her time because it's in the ring shape. Like, girl, take all the time you need. Corey Graves is doing just fine. Like, you're doing just fine financially.
Yeah.
And so he also has how many kids from another marriage, Corey
I
Graves?
think
like
two or three, yeah.
2 or 3?
Yeah.
So someone's got to take care of them too.
Oh, they didn't let him go. Okay, so Reggie.
Yeah, his contract expired.
Reggie just didn't want to renew. Speaking of contracts, we'll talk about this real quickly. Drew McIntyre re-signed.
Yeah, good for him.
And did you hear what The Rock gave him?
Yeah, he gave him
a new sword. He gave him a new sword. That's how you know WWE has too much money right now. He was like, oh, here's a brand new freaking sword.
Yeah. Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if The Rock paid for it himself.
He probably did.
It's very smart for WWE to put one of the boys in the right places of leadership.
On the board, yeah.
Like they're not, here's the thing. They are like kayfabe leaders of the company.
Yeah.
And you can kind of play it to the fans and it's good PR, but the actual decision makers are just still behind closed doors.
Yeah. It's a win-win.
Like they have input and influence, don't get me wrong. But to the public's knowledge, like the average wrestling fan, they are in charge of everything. But in reality and in business, they're not. Yeah.
No, I mean, we can pivot to this real quick. Speaking of business, since we're going to be on Tony Khan and how to do business, not like Tony Khan. Will does not believe in Joe Hendry, Smiley. I'm sorry. But
Joe Hendry's fake. Dude.
So
he's like hell.
No, he's not. He's very much so real. He's actually fighting with Top Dollar on Impact. It's great.
Incredible.
It's great. Shout out to Top Dollar. What a
shout out to Top Dollar.
What a great guy to talk to. It was so much fun to talk to. I should put this on. I'll put this on the tubes. And definitely tag him in it. But yeah, shout out to Top Dollar, great guy to talk to at WrestleCon. Awesome person. It's a shame he went to Maryland and didn't go to Towson, but I get it. I get it so much. Top Dollar.
Yeah, I just had to sit back and pretend to be involved in your football conversation. Because all three of you played football. I'm just like, yeah, dude.
Nah,
I barely watch football.
Yeah, no, that's true. But speaking of, not speaking of football, but speaking of business and stuff. So as you probably know, we are officially, with the draft and everything going on, Vince McMahon put all of his stocks up for sale, and he sold them all. Vince sold all of his stocks in TKO. This is the first time in over 50 years Vince McMahon has no affiliation in any way, shape, or form with the WWE product. That's not the interesting part of his story. The interesting part of his story is this. Nick Khan, the better Khan of the Khans in the wrestling world, put his entire TKO portfolio up for sale as well.
Was that confirmed or is that allegedly?
I believe that is confirmed. He is.
Like, is this Meltzer reporting or is this like
No,
Forbes
this is
reporting?
multiple other credible sources. It's not Meltzer reporting.
Okay.
So Nick Khan put all of his TKO portfolio up for sale. However, he's still keeping his title. I don't know what's at play here because Vince McMahon sold all of his shares. Nick Khan put up all of his portfolio for sale of TKO, and I don't know what the play is. Do you have any idea what the play might be, Will? Because I don't know it's so weird. Why would you put your entire portfolio up for sale but still keep your position in the company?
Well, it depends what stock options mean to them. You know, I don't sit on a board, and I'm not going to pretend to understand how board politics or equity or any of that works.
Unless he's trying to bully his way to finance something to get his way for WWE.
Maybe we'll have to wait and see. But
I think this has mania implications.
I wonder if he's like if he sold all of his shares, if he still has equity.
I don't know.
That's my question.
Yeah.
Because that's the main reason why I would keep my shares. Because that's power. That's decision making. That's worth more than the salary. It's worth more than the money. That's worth more than the 300, 700, whatever $1 billion it's worth.
Yeah. Ooh, live. I love smiling with our stuff. Wesley is finally returned to NXT. Good job, Wesley. Welcome back.
Was he hurt?
He was very much so hurt. He fucked up his knee.
That's right.
Yeah.
And his partner was one who got accused of something.
Yeah, and then she took it back, and now he's somewhere on the indies. I know.
And she should go to jail. She should go to jail for
Yeah.
that. It's fucking ridiculous.
Yeah, she was found to be untrue. I forgot, not that she took it back, but it was found to be untrue or something like that. Which is a shame because MSK had something really going in NXT. They were so much fun.
They did when they were hot too.
Yeah.
Dust.
Yeah, but be it as it may, yeah, I don't know what's going on with the Nick Khan situation.
It's fascinating.
Yeah,
I want to know more. I'm just not the right person to ask.
I mean, like I said, I feel like it has mainly implications. I think, especially with the history of Nick Khan and his dealings, I think Nick Khan wants Vegas next year.
But why would he sell his shares to do that?
I don't know. I wholeheartedly believe it is between Vegas and Minnesota. And
did you see that mock logo for 41?
Well,
the XLI on like the slots.
No, I didn't.
It's not official, but it's like a fan made logo.
Fan-made logo, yeah.
And it looks incredible. Like, yeah, it looks gorgeous.
I think either way,
it's a great logo.
We are either getting Vegas this year and Vegas next year, Minnesota the year after that, or they're gonna flip it. So I mean Minnesota next year and then Vegas the year after that. I think those
Triple H also had put like a "Let's Talk" tweet to someone from like London. Like it was like a WrestleMania London tweet.
Yeah,
from
the UK Prime Minister.
That's what it was, UK Prime Minister.
Yeah, because their elections are next week.
Oh.
Yeah, and as part of his spiel, he was like, "I want to bring WrestleMania to London," and I was like, "Yes," and then do it in Wembley Stadium. Just shit on
I'm sure
Tony.
that's gonna get you reelected. Sure. Okay. Good luck.
Well, listen. It might work. Listen.
I mean, it could totally work.
It could totally work. Listen, if they go to London and they do Wembley Stadium, my lord, it'll be hysterical.
I mean, that would be a hell of a WrestleMania, but that would be what? That'd be a 1 p.m. WrestleMania for us.
Yeah, it'd be great.
Eastern time?
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, I'm totally fine with that. Yeah, it sucks for people in the UK though.
Why? Because if it's 1 p.m. in the UK, well, it'll be like 7 there.
No, I'm saying 1 p.m. our time.
Yeah, which means it's 7 their time.
7 a.m.
No, 7 p.m.
No, I'm saying at the West Coast, United States.
Oh, if it's the West Coast. What do you mean? No, I'm talking
No, I'm
about.
saying if the WrestleMania is in London, it sucks for people on the West Coast.
Oh, okay. That's what you mean. Yeah, it's like 10 a.m.
Yeah, 'cause for them to watch it, it's like 10 a.m. for
It's
them.
like 10 a.m. Yeah.
Which I mean, they do it for football, so I guess.
It's no big deal. You know. But I'd be down. Listen, Saturday and Sunday WrestleMania at 1 o'clock.
Australia would fucking suck, but UK, that's fine.
Yeah, let's
I have
do
no
it.
issue.
I'm
I have no
down
issue with
it. I have
that.
no issue with that at all either. So we'll see what happens with all that. But before, about time, Fallon. You are really loving NXT. Before we get to all of that WrestleMania talk, which is probably going to happen sometime after Backlash, if they do not announce it at Backlash, we have to talk about Backlash in France. Backlash going on May the 4th. So yes, folks, May the 4th be with you. Star Wars and wrestling on Saturday. This is a nerd stream. It's probably also one of Will's streams as well. Is going on. So you get Star Wars marathon. You break for the marathon, watch wrestling. You can go back to freaking Star Wars when you're done. I'm not going anywhere on Saturday. I had plans. They're probably all canceled. The next day is Revenge of the 5th, also known as Cinco de Mayo. This weekend's kind of nuts for stuff going on.
I loved it. I loved that we just took over. Like we made Single de Mayo Revenge of the 5th.
Revenge of the 5th, yes. And then you can call all of May, this is the May. So this is all happening in the first weekend.
We won't appropriate Spanish culture. We're going to appropriate nerd culture.
Yes. Oh, there's Backlash going on from Lyon de Sins, France, May 4th, 1 p.m. Eastern for us. So you get brunch wrestling and start. This is going to be such a weirdly nerdy weekend for me, at least. Going on again, it is in typical WWE fashion. It is going to be a very smaller card than what you would see on AEW, which means all the matches are going to have a little bit of a story from what we know of, and maybe mean a little bit more and get a lot more time to develop. A lot of this is going to happen because I'm assuming a French crowd's going to be absolutely ape shit. I don't know if they're going to be the London crowd, but we'll see what happens. We will definitely.
They got a lot of competition. The London crowds are great. The Puerto Rican crowd was
unbelievable,
fucking real.
Yeah.
So I have low expectations for France.
Yeah.
The French crowd.
I'm going to be interested to see how they play up everything. It's going to be really cool to see. SmackDown is also emanating from France this week as well, which means it's probably going to be taped. Be that as it may, the first match on the card is the man who has a bunch of memes and videos coming out about Cody Rhodes. You probably don't know anything about this. Well, there's a lot of people making memes and stuff about Cody Rhodes actually being a black.
Excuse me?
Yes. A lot of people don't like it. I find it hysterical because I just have a really wicked sense of humor, if I'm being completely honest. But I'll send you something that Charles sent me the other day. Someone redid his song. I'm gonna read this to you. You know how the theme of Cody Rhodes' song.
Adrenaline.
Yeah. So it says there's melanin in his soul. Negro icon Cody Rhodes doing it for the culture, my G. When blacks are down, Cody's there, and he knows how to braid hair. The thing he puts his kid in regularly is cornrows. His father said, blacker the berry, sweeter the juice, sweeter. He goes to say, when Lesnar took Kofi's first championship away, I felt defeated. But then when Cody won, those feelings went away. Those thoughts were yeeted. Cody Raheem Rhodes, one of my favorite Negroes. When Cody starts, racism ends. Wakanda's leader. This is what Charles sent me. There's so many Cody being
about
black.
it, dude. I have nothing wrong with any of those words. All that is amazing.
Okay, Smiley, whoever made that is somebody. Melanin in the Soul, Cody Rhodes. But I think I've seen it. I have to watch it, Smiley. But yes, this match is probably going to highlight because it's Cody in his best. He's probably going to come out like a French aristocrat, which is interesting because the colors of France are red, white, and blue anyway. So I don't know how he's going to change up his outfit. Putting his title on the line against AJ Styles.
They should make the wrestling has more than one royal family in French. Just have Cody Rhodes say it in French.
He might do it. I mean, it's highly possible. So Cody's putting his title on line. First title defense for him, going up against AJ Styles. These guys have actually never faced off at all. Not on the indies. They've always missed each other. So
Yeah.
in that aspect, it is a very interesting match to see how they mold. Listen, if there's any person that can legitimize Cody Rhodes' reign as champion with your first bat, it's AJ Styles. AJ Styles is the Shawn Michaels of the generation. Don't tell. Yeah. Paul
100%.
Heyman said it, not me. AJ Styles is Shawn Michaels. He's going to make it look great. He's going to make it look fantastic. People forget when Roman was starting to become something, he went up against AJ Styles twice. And his match was
as well.
Yeah.
His first title defense was against AJ Styles.
And
Same with Seth, I believe.
Something like, yeah. It was AJ, because I was there for the Extreme Rules match when Seth returned.
Yeah.
Yeah. Those matches are great. AJ and Roman matches were great matches. A lot of it on AJ at the time.
Yes.
A lot of it on AJ at the time, but it worked. And AJ is a proven commodity in this. If anybody's going to make Cody look like $1 million outside of Cody himself, it is going to be AJ Styles as his first title defense. Cody's winning. This is a foregone conclusion.
Here's the thing. You know AJ is losing, but you don't care.
I don't.
No one cares.
Not at all.
No one cares he's gonna lose.
Yeah.
And that's like you just want to. It's gonna be a good match. It's gonna be an interesting match, interesting matchup. It's literally less like this is how AEW should book. This is how AEW kind of does book all their matches.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like who cares who wins? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter who loses.
Yeah, this is going to be a fun match.
It's a good matchup, though.
Yeah, it's great.
It's a good matchup.
Cody's winning. That's a pretty clean sweep. Kayfabe obviously is not here this week. Kayfabe had CM Punk is really sick, and so we hope CM Punk gets better. So
we gotta ask them for their picks.
I believe Kay is also going to pick Cody. So I'm pretty confident.
I think that one's a safe one to write.
Yeah, I think I'm pretty confident in that one. So we're going to write in Cody as a clean sweep for all of us. Moving along, the World Heavyweight Championship on the line. Damian Priest, also known in the wrestling internet world as Bisexual Undertaker, going up against the man of the Yeet, Jey Uso. Again, predictable, I believe, unless something wild happens. Like, Jey Uso's still hot.
Yeah.
Like, Jey Uso's still hot, and it's going to be interesting to see what Damian does or how Damian performs in this match. Like, Damian has done great matches before. He did Backlash last year with Bad Bunny, which should have main evented, but it was like the penultimate match, which was ridiculous, to be completely honest with you. So he has done a lot of high-profile matches, but now he's a high-profile match as a champion against the guy who is like the hottest babyface on the brand in Jey Uso. Damian Priest has said that he doesn't want the Judgment Day members to get involved because they've been screwing things up lately. So the first question for you, Willa, is does the Judgment Day get involved to help Damian, or does Damian actually do this on his own?
Judgment Day gets involved, but he's not going to be happy about it.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes a lot of sense.
I think they cost Jimmy the win, but Damian Priest is going to pin him and then just be like, fuck you guys. I told you to stay back.
Yeah, I think Damian wins as well with this. It's like, if we're going to run with this, we're going to run with this. I think Damian as your champion is fine. Drew McIntyre's messing with Punk a lot, or Punk's messing with Drew McIntyre. Sep's not there for a little bit. So yeah, let Damian run with this till at least SummerSlam and see what happens there. That's what I'm going with Damian Priest. But before we move that, did you... It was great. Drew McIntyre got pissed at Booker T backstage because Booker T was talking about how great of a pick CM Punk was on Raw. So Drew McIntyre goes to Booker T and goes, "Tell me you didn't just say that." So he goes off. Drew McIntyre finally gets picked. He comes out to the ring, and then you hear Punk's music, and Punk's in a suite. He's like, "Hey, up here, dipshit." So now Drew goes looking for Punk in the suite. By the time Drew gets to the suite, Punk's not there, but it's a signed picture of CM Punk, and then Punk's walking out to the ring.
Unbelievable.
Amazing. Drew McIntyre not on this card as of right now. But I'm going to go with Damian. Will's going to go with Damian. We'll get Kay's answer off air. It'll be a .com pick for Kay. We'll put it that way. Moving forward, triple threat match. Tiffy time versus Naomi versus Bayley, WWE Championship, WWE Women's Championship triple threat match. I don't think we're getting any title changes. Actually, we're going to get one title change, I think. But in this match, I don't think this is the title change. This might open the show. To be completely honest with you, this is a great show opener match, I think. This is all, in my opinion, this is all about making Tiffy ready for a main event spot. Even though she already did Elimination Chamber, which is wild to do 2 months up on the roster. This is just going to be a fun, athletic match. Like, Tiffany's kind of nuts. Bailey's going to be there to kind of keep things going there. And Naomi's just going to be Naomi.
Bailey's going to control the space and keep it grounded.
Correct. Yeah. Yeah. And Naomi's just going to play her part. It's going to be good. Tiffy's character, she's going to be great. There's a lot. She's doing very well in her role. It's like she believes her character, which is always great to see. She's going to put a good show. She's not winning. This is a good showcase for her, but Bailey's going to retain. And I think that's the right move. Bailey's going to retain. Bailey's going to right the ship as you move SmackDown into this and into the summer run. Into the summer run, it's going to be Bailey.
I wouldn't mind if somehow this leads to Naomi turning heel on Bailey.
Ooh, but if you do that means Bianca and Jade are probably going to have to turn too.
No, they can go after the tag titles.
Oh, so you're just saying that Naomi gets pissed at Bailey?
Naomi is no longer affiliated with Bianca and Jade. They're in 2 different storylines now. That was just a one-time thing for WrestleMania.
They are they are on the live shows together though.
Oh, they're still together that way?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I don't think you need. I think you can turn one without turning the other two.
Potentially.
Yeah, and because they're gonna go to the tag belts, and what does Naomi do as a third person in the group? Nothing. Might as well have her turn because Bailey also needs people to work with. Who she got? Tiffany Stratton.
Yeah. Nia Jax is back.
Nia Jax.
I have to look up the roster again, but there are a couple of other people there.
But you need heels. Bailey has to work with heels.
Yeah.
So Tiffany's not ready, and Nia Jax thing is a good SummerSlam feud.
Unless Charlotte's ready. Unless Charlotte comes back.
Unless Charlotte comes back. Oh, God.
Charlotte Bailey SummerSlam sounds fantastic.
Yeah, and Charlotte's going to win.
I know. I know.
It really is upsetting to me that Charlotte's going to end this title reign.
Yeah, Charlotte's going to cash in her Charlotte in the Bank briefcase, the I'm Charlotte Flair clause. That's what's going to happen. She's gonna show up and say, I'm Charlotte Flair. She's going to get a title match on a Big Four, and she's going to win. That's how it works. That's the I'm Charlotte Flair clause. But in regards to this match, I think Bailey wins this.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. Bailey wins. Everybody looks great. Naomi starts off a show with crazy light show and all of that stuff. So moving on to the most interesting match, in my opinion, on this card, which might actually be in the middle. You have Randy Orton and Kevin Owens versus Suge Knight, Solo Sikoa, and Tama Tonga, or as Solo calls him, his MFT, which I don't know what MFT means. I don't know what the hell
I was going to ask you. I have no idea
I don't fucking know either. I have no clue. For the first week, I thought he was saying NFT, like a cryptocurrency. I was like, he exists though. Like, he's right there. So
yeah, I can see him.
Yeah.
He's not digital.
Yeah. So I don't know. Solo's not a man of many words versus Randy and Kevin, who are somehow still friends after the triple threat match. And they're doing the first ever RKO show on SmackDown this Friday, which is going to be pretty interesting.
It means motherfucking Tonga.
Oh, that's right. Because he called himself the MFT. I gotcha. Okay, that's something from his indie days. Or his days in Japan, not indie. This is clearly a Tama Tonga showcase match because you're going to spend a lot of money on Tama Tonga to bring him here and to realize that he's not actually Samoan, he's Tonganese, but whatever, no one's going to say that.
He's my motherfucking Tonga.
Yeah, he's my MFT.
Male fungible, damn.
Yeah. So I think the Bloodline win and establish dominance again, because if this Bloodline thing is going to continue, Solo's new rendition of the Bloodline has to win.
Tell me this is kind of like Owen Hart joining the Nation. It's just like, you don't really fit, but you fit.
He fits more than Owen. I think Sami Zayn was Owen Hart joining the Nation.
Oh yeah, dude, I totally forgot.
Yeah, Sami Zayn was Owen Hart joining the Nation. He did a better job than Owen did joining the Nation.
Yeah, he did, to be fair.
We have a Filipino in the LWO. Don't question.
Sami
Fair
Zayn
enough,
is like
fair
my
enough.
oos.
We'll see. Yeah.
My oos. Dude, I'm not. I actually forgot how good he was
He's
as like
so
the.
good.
I just want to be included, part of the bloodline.
Yeah. He was so good. But yeah, no, this is you gotta show up Tama Tonga and his viciousness. He's doing a great job. I've always loved Tama Tonga when he was in New Japan, former Bullet Club member as well. And Solo, like I said, if Solo's rendition of the Bloodline has to work, we're going to continue this and drag this out. Not drag, but continue this until Roman decides he wants to return, which take your time, Roman, for the love of God. You deserve time off. Take your time. You have to establish them as a formidable threat to the rest of the roster. So I think Bloodline beats KO and Randy Orton in this. Will, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I agree. I mean, how does Solo and motherfucking Tonga not win? You just debuted him. You're debuting this evolution, pardon the pun, of Solo Sikoa, and you gotta have him come out strong. I mean, he's doing really good. Solo's doing a really good job of picking up the ball, and Paul Heyman is doing his damnedest to put it over.
Absolutely,
and it's working.
Absolutely. I was telling my friend who was watching it with me the other week, I was like, if you ever want to know what's going on with the Bloodline, look at Paul.
Yeah.
That's all you have to do. Paul tells you the entire story just with his facial expressions on the ring apron. It's beautiful. It's Paul should be an actor. Like, it's a masterclass what he does. It really is a masterclass what he does. Speaking of masterclass, last but certainly not least, this might also open up a show as well. I think one of the women's matches are going to open up a show. You have Kairi Sane and Asuka, the WWE Women's Tag Team Champions, putting their titles on the line against Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair. And if there is going to be a title change, it's going to be right here. And I think that's exactly what's going to happen.
Yeah.
I think you have to start. Bailey kind of took out Io. Now you got to start seeing a little bit of a cracks in Damage Control. And at this point, I think Damage Control can start to kind of go their separate ways.
Yeah, these belts mean nothing, so might as well try and make them something like giving it to two massive stars.
Yeah. Make them do these are the only belts that were not protected during the draft as well either. So I'm interested to see where this goes, but I think Bianca and Jade can do this. This protects Jade if they didn't think she's ready to go fully solo, and she's learning from the pound for pound the best female wrestler in the business in Bianca Belair. Like, you can't go wrong with Bianca kind of taking Jade under her wing as they run the roads and everything.
Yeah, it is pretty crazy how Bianca has developed into a wrestler. Because I remember when she debuted, we talk about how it was there, but it wasn't quite all together.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember us saying the same about Charlotte, how when she first debuted, like, it was all there, but she couldn't lead a match.
Yes.
It's like Bianca. It's like I could totally see Bianca leading a match with Becky, or leading a match with Bayley, or leading a match with Charlotte.
Yeah.
And that's the kind of thing Jade still needs to learn. She needs to learn how to lead a match. Yeah. And I think Bianca's an excellent person to put her with for that.
Or even how to put a match together. Like, Jade is the least experienced person between Asuka, Bianca, and Kairi Sane, who have all held singles titles and have done really well for themselves. Inside, well, mostly for Asuka and Kairi outside of WWE as well. Like, this is a great pay-per-view match. Like, she's learning from people who are really good at their craft. Asuka in particular, like, she's in a great position right now. Like, she's a project, which is perfectly fine, but she's still really young. She looks like, I was watching a YouTuber, this woman who had never seen wrestling before, and decided that she was going to watch WrestleMania 40. And she was like, I saw Jade Cargill, and she's like, if you see an anatomy of the human body, it's Jade Cargill, like in a science book.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Like the Is it a science thing? It's like the man, and it's like all the
Oh,
arms.
I want to say it's Da Vinci or something.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I forget what it is, but yeah, that's like Jade
that's
Cargill.
Jade Cargill. Yeah,
That could just be Jade Cargill.
yeah. She's gonna get there. She's gonna be fine. She's learning from good, and I think putting these tag titles, which are in the grand scheme of things, not the most meaningful titles currently right now.
We don't mean jack shit. Let's call it spade a spade.
Yeah. Which they should have gone with the mid card title, which they're going to fix that on NXT. So we'll see how that experiment works. I think it's probably going to be real successful. Even the Undertaker said, "Yeah, the women need a mid card title."
Yeah, they do.
Even Taker was like, "It's enough's enough." But hey, give her something, give her a championship, keep pushing her. Like Jade's gonna be fine. And in a year from now,
what do you think?
She'll be on her own. But what's up?
What do you think Jade and Asuka talk about?
I don't. I don't know.
Like Jade walks in the bathroom and Asuka's there washing her hands. Like, what kind of small talk do they have?
I don't know, actually. That's a great question. That's good. I mean, Asuka usually does her own makeup, which is wild in and of itself. Like, she does her own face paint, which is crazy. But I have no clue. This is gonna be a very, very interesting and fun match. So that is the entire card that we have for Backlash as we know it. A couple more matches may be announced. I doubt it, but we will definitely see. Before we get to figuring out what the how well we think this pay-per-view or premium live event is going to be, we do have a couple of bonus questions for our little bit of our fantasy prediction. Sorry, we already answered one question, as in, will the Judgment Day try to interfere on behalf of Damian? We both said yes. The two other questions I have for you. Do we have the appearance of a new Bloodline member showing up during this premium live event? The last time they really went to Europe, Solo showed up at Clash at the Castle. Does history repeat itself?
Yeah. Well, since you put it that way, it's an interesting thought. I think right now, no, but very soon, yes.
Someone else is coming. Yeah.
Yeah, I forget his name, but yes.
Jacob Fatu, you're thinking of.
Yeah, Fatu. But because you just debuted motherfucking Tonka,
yeah.
So you need to highlight him a little bit first. Otherwise, you would have just you would have debuted them together.
Yes. Yeah, sorry, I just laughed.
Kona Reeves.
Quan just said Kona Reeves shows up.
But I stand by what I said.
Yeah.
I think not now, but soon. Like next pay-per-view.
Yeah.
Where are they next? Like Germany?
After Backlash, it is. Hold on, I'll tell you right now. After Backlash, the next one is King and Queen of the Ring in Saudi Arabia.
Oh, so Saudi. Nah, he's not going to be there either. And after that, I think it's Germany.
No, after that, Germany's at the end of August.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
It's after. Yeah, we have King and Queen of the Ring. Then we have Money in the Bank.
Where's Money in the Bank?
Toronto.
Okay, I'll probably be there then.
We have Money in the Bank
because secretly Fatu is he's Canadian.
Yeah, right.
Like Jinder.
We have money. We have Money in the Bank, and then after that is SummerSlam. After SummerSlam is Bash in Berlin.
There it is.
And then after Bash in Berlin is Clash at the Castle.
For fuck's sake.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's gonna be a pretty and Clash in the Castle,
man.
Clash in the Castle's in Scotland in September. So that's going to be wild. That's Drew McIntyre territory.
That's Drew McIntyre. Yeah, that's why Drew McIntyre resigned.
Yeah, no, he wants to be in his hometown. I can definitely see Drew versus Sheamus there at Clash of the Castle again. We also have the last question we have, the last bonus question we have for Backlash, because WWE loves to do this, especially when they're in foreign countries. Do we see a WWE legend of French descent or who played a French character show up to make a special appearance at Backlash?
Special surprises at Backlash?
Like like a WWE legend or a former performer who was playing a French character.
Maybe the French Canadians. There's maybe.
We're not getting the Mountie.
The Mountie.
We're not getting the Mountie.
There's no like French characters.
Rene Dupree.
Like Triple H.
Well, no, Triple H was
the aristocrat.
He was an aristocrat but he was the blue blood. He's from New England.
Oh.
Yeah. No, he said Rene Dupree's a good choice.
Yeah, but I guess that's it. So yeah, Rene Dupree shows up.
I'm gonna look up like French WWE character.
Maybe Maurice.
Maurice is French Canadian from
Close enough. You need as long if she speaks French, she'll get a pop.
maybe. I mean, let's see what we got. From Wikipedia, French professional wrestlers. French male professional wrestlers. Let's see what we got. Oh, that's right. Andre was one. We know Andre's. Yeah, there's not that many people. Rene Dupree might be the best one. To be completely honest. But wasn't La Resistance a tag team? I think that also had Rene Dupree.
I have no idea. I don't even know what I couldn't pick him out of the lineup.
Yeah, La Resistance was Sylvain Grenier and Robert Conway. They were a tag team during I believe the Ruthless Aggression era. So there's that. So La Resistance could make like Viva La Resistance. So I'm gonna go with those options as people. I'm gonna say that we're gonna get no legend appearances of a French person showing up. What about you? You're gonna go with no or yes?
I'll go with yes. I'll say whatever, some French dude, someone.
Watch it be John Cena showing up, and he says he wants WrestleMania in France, like he did in London.
That would be really funny.
Could you imagine, like, they go to all these countries in Europe, and John Cena always comes up and says, "I want WrestleMania here." It would be absolutely great. But be that as it may, we have. Let me see. All right, we have about. What is it? We have 5 matches on this card, very takeover-ish style of booking currently right now as we're doing this recording. So my question to you is, how well do you think this pay-per-view will be? How many crowns are we going to give it? Best being 10, worst being 1. Well, I'm going to go with you. How many crowns do you think this is going to be?
I mean, the fact it's in France and the crowd's going to be hot really helps. The wrestling is going to be great, so that's going to help. But the matches are all very, like, we all picked the exact same matches. And I have no doubt in my mind Kay is going to also agree with all. Kay's going to go 5 for 5 with us.
Probably.
So the point system this week is just a wash because we all agree. So that being said, I don't have, it's a low bar. So I expect a 7. A meaningless 7. It's a meaningless pay-per-view, but it's going to be entertaining. At the end of it, sometimes that's enough. Like, that's enough. That is enough for a post-WrestleMania card.
Yeah.
Where you don't expect anything because it's a new chapter, it's a new brand, it's a new era.
You got to start somewhere.
The dust is still settling.
Yeah. Absolutely. I'm going to go with 7 too. You don't need to expect much. The good thing about Backlash, I think, especially this, it's in the middle of the day here in the States for most of us. It's a good, outside of WrestleMania, it's a good, someone who's never watched wrestling, you can say, hey, watch the show with me for like 2 hours. See how you like it. It's a good introduction. Like, hey, this is what I watch. You know, it'll be really simplistic. But I think it's a 7. I don't expect anything crazy to happen. Like, Cody's not losing. You know? Cody's not losing. The wildest thing that might happen is they flip-flop the world title and put it on Jay, which I don't think is going to happen.
Yeah, 0% chance.
Yeah, I don't think that's actually going to occur.
At least last year, because Puerto Rico was kind of the same thing. Mm-hmm. We had a similar vibe, but it's like, but Bad Bunny is wrestling. It's gonna be fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Right? This card is missing It's
missing this French celebrity.
The gimmick, honestly. Yeah.
It is missing the gimmick.
It's missing Sami Zayn. It's not missing Logan Paul because he's the U.S. champion. Why would he defend out of the United States? That's just silly.
Although Logan Paul in France as the U.S. champion makes all the sense in the world.
Yeah, I am surprised he's not on the card.
At least doing a healing it up promo in France.
Yeah.
Maybe because they might actually hurt him in France. We'll
see. We'll see. Do you think the show starts with Triple H? We're seeing a lot of Triple H on TV lately.
Yeah, I think the show starts with trips. I think the show starts with trips.
I think because I like seeing
Oh,
Hello?
we're good.
Oh, there you are. There
Yeah,
you
right.
are. We're still here.
Yeah, we're still
We're
here.
still here. Let me mark the audio.
Yeah, do that.
All right, as you were. There we go.
Yeah, even though my video's off, but whatever.
Can you just flick it off and flick it back on?
Now we'll figure it out later. I forgot what I was talking about.
Oh,
Oh,
it's talking
Triple
about
H.
this Triple H. Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't need to see Triple H on TV as much anymore.
No, he did a draft. He did a draft. He did the first night of a draft. Stephanie did the second night. Maybe he will back off. I think the next time we should see Triple H is when we get the WrestleMania announcement. If anybody's gonna announce WrestleMania, it should be Trips.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, it's got to be Trips. It cannot be anybody else. Like,
I still think they're going to Vegas too. Um, no, man. It's a good week in wrestling. It's so much fun just laughing at Tony Khan. Like I really do enjoy it. It's just he's just a gift that keeps on giving. It's just like it's you know what it is. It's like you're not getting a gift. The gift is watching someone else not enjoy the gift that he bought them. and that's what it is. So I have that one friend at work who gave up on WWE to watch AEW, and every time I go in, I want to be like, so you you regret it yet? You coming back to team corporate? But yeah, but they're going to all out in Wembley, so that's gonna be really cool. I'm happy for them. I'm happy that her and her boyfriend are gonna go.
Midnight music.
Ladies and gentlemen, hello, hello, hello. It's me. It's Willie TT. It's Thomas ARASHUK. I don't have, huh? UK, United Kingdom. Yeah. I'm gonna go to is Scotland, part of the UK. I'm gonna go to Scotland and become the UK champion. That's what they're angry about, isn't it? Yeah, ladies and gentlemen. The best place to find me is not on Joe Henry's social medias because I don't know who he is. He doesn't exist. He's not real. He's like the Adam Rose bunny. He had a bunny, right? But better. But better. I can go with better. We can go with better. If you want to follow me, the best place to follow me is actually LinkedIn of all places. If you're not on LinkedIn, LinkedIn is popping. It's popping so much to the part where I started in April. I started a exclusive video series to LinkedIn where I ask financial polls. So it's a series designed for financial advisors and the clients they are missing out on, which is, Ricky, people like you and me, people under 35 or 40. Because millennials are 40. Can you believe that? Millennials are as old as 40 years old. Yeah. Well, the oldest millennials are 40. So the question this week was, is housing still worth, like, is buying housing, like home ownership, worth it for Gen Z, like from a financial perspective? In the end, it's yes, no, it depends, or other. So all my questions are yes or no questions. Like last week was, should financial literacy be taught in schools? And the week before that was, I was in it depends. Like, it needs to be done right. I have many issues with personal finance, like financial literacy in schools, but we can get at that in the post show. The first question was, do you trust financial advice from TikTok? So that was interesting because there's a 50-50 split between no and it depends. So everything else is a goose egg. So it's fun. It's fun. The comment's really interesting. I follow a lot of financial people and financial experts in my comments and DMs. So it's an interesting time. Will Tarashuk, T. Thomas, ARASHUK. Sacre bleu. All right, excellent.
Midnight music.